Well, I think that nature is innately beautiful, and man can either add something atrocious to it or something beautiful to it, and I simply enjoy trying to add something beautiful to it, and that's the nature of architecture. I think from a personal level, I think an architect wouldn't be honest if he said there was one thing about it, but for me there's three things personally. One is I do have a need for creativity, I have a need for intellectual challenge, and I really love making things, and architecture delivers all three and basically overcomes all of those other problems that you mentioned that we have to deal with on the way. I think if I was going back, it's to find what your moral and artistic ethos is. I think the problem when you become a young architect, you don't really know what you're passionate about and you're trying to find it. And one way is to kind of look at yourself, and another way is to read and try and gain as much knowledge as you can, but you really got to find, it's a bit like an artist, got to find where you feel comfortable, where's you in all of this. So if I'd going back again, I would have come to that a bit earlier than I perhaps did, which has perhaps only really happened in the last decade or so for me. I think perception. I think an architect has an ability to pull together a whole range of societal characteristics, whether it's culture or environment or nature, and I think they're probably the only kind of artist of the built environment that can and does. So I think it's their ability to perceive the way people see things and the way things innately are and pull them together into built form. I'll start with the importance. I think regionalism is important. I really think that buildings and built environments should express and be part of the place that they're in, and I'm worried about a kind of global uniform architecture happening everywhere. So I think whether you live there or come there as a visitor, you're looking for a sense of place that belongs to it. So Queensland, I think, has been very interesting because I think most of the interest historically has been on Melbourne and Sydney. That's where I think there's been a bit of a kind of trends or genres, as you say, occurring. Queensland seems to have been freed from a lot of that, and architects up here have been able to really kind of grapple with what is Queensland in a much more kind of rigorous way. So we've been able to express ourselves with the environment, which perhaps has shackled a few architects down south.